Now that we have gone through the process of looking at our triumphs and our life bombs and discovering what we have learned in the past year, now it is time for us to look at ourselves in the present moment. And in our present moment, we all do things and say things to ourselves that are self-limiting. And what I mean by self-limiting are, we know that we want to succeed in a certain area, but we say something to ourselves internally that keeps blocking us from jumping over that hurdle or that obstacle or that goal, getting to that goal. So let me give you some examples of ways that I limit myself. Here's a good one. Putting tasks that aren't fun or glamorous on the back burner and doing the tasks that are fun or glamorous or things that I really enjoy doing first. So, for example, I might spend time doing something that I really enjoy or geeking around on the computer when I should be doing something more productive for myself, and then I step back and I look at myself and say, why can't I keep my house clean? Simple, but you got to think about things that way. So I limit myself by eating crappy food, eating food that I know I'm allergic to, like gluten. I limit myself by eating sugar, even though I know I'm addicted to it. I limit myself by feeling guilty about not being perfect and not being thin like I was in a prior portion of my life. I limit myself by spending money on things that are now things instead of investing in my future or my family's future. I spend money, I limit myself by being critical of myself and being critical of other people. And all of those things are going to hold me back. Of course, they're going to hold me back from being the whole wonderful, light, beaming, shining person that I want to be. And so if you can, really sit down and be honest with yourself and think about whatever your limiting thoughts are, how you limit yourself. Because what needs to happen is we need to have a tectonic shift in the plates of our mind so that we can turn those limiting thoughts into power thoughts that are going to propel us into the new year and propel us into having breakthroughs in areas where we've never had breakthroughs before. So you may say things to yourself like, I'm just unlucky. I'm just unlucky, or, no one's going to love me in this body. Those are really limiting thoughts. And so what do you say to yourself? Think about what you're limiting, how you're limiting yourself, and then what do you say to justify it to yourself? The things that we say to justify those limiting behaviors are things like, I don't have time. I just don't have time to make my dreams come true because I have to work a 40-hour-a-week job, and I have children, and I have a husband, and I have this, and I have this, and I volunteer at the BTA, and I, do this, and I volunteer here, and I just don't have time. Or people say, I don't have money. I don't have the money to join a gym so I can get in shape. I don't have money to pursue my passions. I don't have money to, do whatever I want to do, whatever it is, however you're limiting yourself. One of the ones that I know that people with weight issues, because I've done it myself, say, I don't want to do blank. Like, I don't want to go visit my friends until I lose 40 pounds. That's what you say to yourself in your mind. Your limiting behavior is, I don't travel. I won't travel. Or, I've lost connection with my friends. You're limiting your friendships. Because what you're saying to yourself is, I won't do blank until blank. I won't go visit my friends until I lose 40 pounds. You know, your friends don't care if your butt's as big as a barn, but you limit yourself that way. And you explain your failures to yourself by making those kind of self-limiting statements. So, one of the things that you may say to yourself is, when is it my turn? You know, I spend all my time taking care of all of these other people. When is it my turn to get what I want? When is it my turn to have fun? When is it my turn to relax? You know, blame, blame, blame. Blaming somebody else for your limiting thoughts. Blaming somebody else for your limiting behaviors. This is the hardest exercise you will do in your goal setting, is figuring out how you are limiting yourself and what you are saying to yourself to justify it. But once you see it written down on paper, and once you experience going through that exercise, you will feel the plates in your bodies, your chakras, your whatever you want to call them. I look at everything sort of like the earth, like my body is the earth, and I have these tectonic plates just like the earth does, and you know, it shifts. Those plates shift, and that's what causes earthquakes, and that's what causes volcanoes to erupt, and that's what causes like revolution to happen. And so without knowing what your limiting thoughts are, and without knowing how you are justifying them to yourself, you can never have that plate shift in your brain. You can never have that atom bomb detonated that explodes every cell of your being, where you say, I finally figured out what it is that is holding me back from being who I want to be, from doing what I want to do, from living my life's purpose, from being happy. So this one you got to take some time with. And it might not take a day. It might take a while. But start thinking about it. And start writing them down, how you're limiting yourself. And you may go back and examine this again and again throughout this challenge to see, because when you start feeding your body live foods and whole foods, a lot of this limiting stuff is going to start coming out of you. You're going to be like, I can't do it because I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I don't have this, I don't have that, I can't do this, I travel a lot, I do this, I do this, I do this. And you're going to start going through a whole another list of how you limit yourself. Right now, think about the big picture. And food can definitely be a part of it, you know, but it's not just about food. How do you limit yourself in all parts of your life? And what do you say to justify it? Hard exercise. If you'd love to share this, you can also share these things with me personally if you want to. All of this whole journey, you can email me, bunny@rawfu.com, or just click send a message, and you can send me your exercises if you don't want to share them with the whole group, or feel free to share them or to keep them to yourself. You know, we don't do roll call here. We don't do head counts here, because I know personally that there are tons of people out there watching who don't participate in our forums as far as writing, actually sitting down and typing. And we all have time constraints in lives outside of RawFu and outside of WholeFu. But that's not why I'm here. I'm here to make a difference in my life and to hopefully help you along in figuring out what is holding you back so you can make a difference in yours. This is a hard exercise. It's a hard one, but I tell you, it is so important, and it will make a difference in how you set your goals for the upcoming year. So finish this one up and then move on to the next one. The next one is when you get to start actually dreaming about what you want. So the next one is when the real fun begins. All right, see you then. Eat your veggies.